We're well into the peak of the hurricane season. We now have our second hurricane of the 2019 season. We've also seen lots of flooding across the Leeward Islands. Right now, there's a hurricane warning out for the islands just east of Puerto Rico, as well as the British and US Virgin Islands. In fact, the British Virgin Islands are under a flood watch as well until early Tuesday morning. Now, the main reason for that is the possibility of a 250 millimeters of rainfall, severe flooding likely in British Virgin Islands, as well as localized flooding elsewhere across the Virgin Islands and parts of Puerto Rico. So definitely they'll be watching as they see Dorian moving away. Now, most of those winds should actually begin to subside tonight, but still looking at winds of 250 kilometers per hour. We have been seeing 130 kilometers per hour. We have been seeing gusts of 178 kilometers per hour in some of the islands. But you're noticing there the center just north of Puerto Rico is set to move further away. Now, there has been a slight change in the forecast. Remember, Tuesday's forecast was actually taking it up towards the western part of Puerto Rico. The actual path is now on the eastern side and over the British Virgin Islands. So that's why there's that uncertainty cone that we talk about. Now, the forecast track is to take a Dorian still on that northwest track. It will be steered by those steering winds around the high, and then as that low pressure moves out of the way ahead of it, it should actually move over some very warm waters. So you could be seeing waters of 29-30 degrees Celsius as it gets closer to the Gulf Stream around Florida, and this will likely allow Dorian to become a major hurricane at Category 3 or maybe a touch higher than that as it gets closer to the Bahamas and Florida. But for us here in the Eastern Caribbean, conditions still remain tranquil, especially for the southern Windward Islands. So a clear and a cool night expected across Tobago. This will lead to sunny skies through Tuesday morning and a hot afternoon across many parts of Tobago. Similarly, fair conditions expected tonight, just a low chance of a shower. There may be a brief shower along the hillsides first thing in the morning, but overall the sunshine will be there, the heat will also be there, and you will feel that heat, especially across those western areas of Trinidad, Port of Spain, around Diego Martin and down to San Fernando. Now, temperature-wise, looking at a warm night, 25 degrees Celsius at Pialco, 27 the low at Crown Point, and that will allow highs tomorrow to get up to 32 in the Tobago and 34 in Trinidad. So another hot day expected. Cooling off at the beaches, still expecting just a slight chop around the Gulf of Paria, and for the Caribbean about 1 meter there, 1.5 out in the Atlantic, and those southeasterly winds at 15 knots will continue through Thursday. Now, for the rest of the week, it seems as though we'll keep fair, tranquil weather going all the way through the weekend. Very little chance of a shower here. It will remain low as we go through Friday and Saturday, but still hot conditions at 34 degrees Celsius by day and possibly no lower than 25 degrees Celsius by night. Now, for the Leeward Islands, they'll begin to see just those outer rain bands of Dorian lifting, so maybe still a few showers expected for St. Kitts as they go through Thursday, but for the rest of the island chain, should be seeing a hot, hazy weather for the most part, highs of 33 likely in some of those islands. For Port-au-Prince and much of the northern parts of Haiti, could be seeing some instability there from the passage of Dorian as it moves northwards, so the thunder shower is expected here. But elsewhere, breezy with just occasional showers, and those are passing clouds. But for us, sunny and hot once again. So that's the weather, and that's from me.